as always.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. All is well.
Let's pan down at this dude. Man.
Watch out, man. Watch out, man.
Come on, you outshining everybody.
Profile.
All right, man. Let's go back. Let's go back a couple weeks.
Okay.
What was your kind of summarization of the fight with Caleb Plant?
Is that even a word?
Summarization?
Summarization.
Okay. I'm gonna have to Google that.
It sounds like
I think Caleb Plant put on an amazing show. I was super proud of him. But of course, it didn't go the way we wanted it. But I think that he showed the whole world what type of fighter he is, and that he had the skill to be able to be in the ring with a guy like Canelo. And I think he got the respect of Canelo as well, and along with his fans. You know, at the end of the day, I know when Caleb Plant walks back into that ring for the next time, you're going to see a much better Caleb Plant, because that experience has taught him something, has taught the team something, and he can guarantee he's going to be better when he gets back in there.
What did you learn about that fight, about that process maybe in the fight?
Well, it's not about what I learned, I can say what I confirmed.
Okay.
You know, I've been with Caleb 4 years.
Okay.
And in those 4 years, I've been saying Caleb is probably one of the best boxers in the sport, if not the best boxer in the sport. And that night, he proved me to be right. Okay. He boxed the entire night. He looked amazing the entire night. On some cards that had him winning, on some cards that had him losing, I had him winning, very close if it was anything at all. And so when he got caught with the punch, it's unfortunate, but he showed me what I already knew. The boy is bad. The boy is bad, so you have to deal with him. He ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
I think he opened up a lot of eyes.
Absolutely.
In that fight. And then the last one for me on that, is there a rematch clause? Are you guys looking for a rematch in that fight?
Say it again?
Is there a rematch clause? Was there a rematch clause?
I'm not in a position to speak on that, so I'm not going to speak on that, but I can promise you this. If that opportunity came back again, I can promise you Caleb will say yes every single day of the week.
Okay.
Twice on Sunday.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to look for that news. Now, we're here today in Las Vegas for Crawford Porter.
Right.
Highly anticipated matchup between Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter. How do you see it? I'm not asking for your prediction, but how do you see this fight playing out?
First of all, I am giving predictions. I don't mind giving a prediction.
Okay.
Because I've had people ask me that before. I've been with Shawn now going on 9 years. So I got a lot of history with him. So you have to understand that I'm going to pick Shawn. Okay. So yes, I'm picking Shawn to win. All right. Outside of that, it's going to be a great fight. You got two very talented individuals. You know, stylistically very different, but athletically very the same, mentally very the same. And you're going to see two trains hit, and you're going to figure out which one of those trains can take the most punishment that night. Because I don't think it's going to be a fight of minds, who's the smartest. It's going to be a fight of will, whose will is strong enough that night. And I think that's going to be the major point in the fight, and I'm excited for it.
Coach, how do you, doing your job, I guess, what's the word, like anticipate the left-handed or right-handedness of Terence Crawford? Does that change your job at all, getting Shawn to then, I don't know, adjust to one style or the other?
No, not at all. You know, at the end of the day, I am the strength conditioning coach. I work on movement and positions and footwork and things of that nature. Kenny Porter and Barry Hunter, they create the game plan, and they set up and prepare a guy for either southpaw or orthodox stance, and also whatever the game plan is for that day. My job is just to be able to give them the things they need from a strength conditioning standpoint so he can do the things they're asking for. So it doesn't really change anything for me, but you can guarantee when it comes down to the true mobility and agility of a Shawn Porter, one of the best athletes in sports, period, not just boxing.
You mentioned that this fight's going to come down to will. Both of these guys are experienced fighters.
Yep.
They're veterans in the ring.
Right.
They've been on a big stage before.
Yep.
When it comes down to will, when the bullets start flying, are they resorting to what their standard of fighting has been, or are you still able to implement more changes and get them quicker, get them faster, get them stronger for a fight like this?
Absolutely, you can do all those things, but mainly it's just make sure you don't lose anything opposed to trying to gain new things. Both of these guys have great talent, so I'm pretty sure what they were doing on their side is just to maintain and make sure he doesn't lose anything when it comes to that night. But you can guarantee it will come a point, and I've heard this 1,000 times, I didn't create this, in every boxing event, a fight will break out. and you got to be ready to do that. And I can promise you, both those guys are ready for that moment when it happens. When the fight breaks out, I can promise you, no one's running away from the fight. They're gonna stand right there, toe to toe, and swing, because that's how they're built.
Larry, you want the fight to break out?
Absolutely. I'm glad somebody picked it out. I want the fight to break out. At some point, I want the fight to break out, just so the world can see on display what these guys have to bring to the table. You know, it's not just about my fighter and Shawn Porter. It's also being able to highlight the talent of both guys, because both these guys, in my opinion, are amazing guys and amazing fighters. So when the fight breaks out, I want you guys to see, like, oh, here we go. And when the hands stop, I just want to make sure my guy's still standing. That's it.
Do you feel like Terence, though, is going to try and make it a boxing match?
Absolutely.
But he's been slugging lately. He hasn't been boxing.
Yeah.
But you think he's going to come and box?
I think so. I think that's what's in his best interest, to put it in a space that he feels may be challenging. You put it in a slugfest, then now everything's equal and balanced across the board. It's about who comes out of that without getting touched. So I think he's going to want to make it about boxing, but we all know Terence also, all it takes for him to get touched one time, and he switches that thing over to, like, we from the slug. And I'm waiting for that to happen.
Coach,
I'm excited for that.
Coach, real quick, going back to Canelo, what you saw Canelo at 168 pounds, he's talking about moving up to 200 to cruiserweight. Do you think his power carries? How do you think he'll do
Absolutely.
at that?
Absolutely. That's not even a question for me. And why would I? I mean, at the end of the day, in understanding what power really is about, force times acceleration. He already has the force. He's shown that he has the force. He already has the speed. He's going to be faster than the guys at that level, so he's going to continue to take that up. You know, it's a matter of him not getting touched, right? Not getting hit at that size. And Canelo's being very good at being the ring general and controlling that from happening, so I don't see it being any different. I think he's going to go out there and he's going to show the world that he can do it at any level. He's definitely one of the best to ever do it in the sport. He's been in the ring with some of the best to ever do it, and I don't expect it to be any different. I just want him to get back in there with my guy Caleb. That's all I need.
How do you go about putting on 22 pounds of muscle for him?
I didn't say it's going to be 22 pounds of muscle.
Okay, yeah.
22 pounds, yeah. I didn't say muscle,
What are
right?
your thoughts on the Teofimo fight coming up and the Devin Haney fight coming up?
I think that you got a division that has, in the recent years, become very, very, very exciting based on the people that are in it. You know, when you got 4 or 5 guys at one division that all have talent and all have star quality to them, and also have that mouthpiece that keeps them coming, we all get excited to watch it. So I'm looking forward to any time Teofimo gets in the ring. I'm excited about any time Devin gets in the ring. Those guys are great fighters, so I look forward to it. So hopefully I get a chance to see it soon.
They're all great talents, but if you know, Larry, if it was like you got to put your chip on just one of them, who would it probably be?
Style makes fights. It just depends on who you're placing against each other, like, right? And that's been said in the history of this sport forever. Styles make fight. You put one guy in there, you get a different thing. You get Rolando Romero. His style is so different than everybody else's. You put him with the right guy or the wrong guy, that guy lays down. So it just really depends on who's in front of him.
Mayorga Vernon Forrest, right?
Exactly.
Thank you, Coach.